friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction live stream number 19. That in that neighborhood, my brothers and sisters. Welcome in once again, my friend, to another live stream, y'all. Hope y'all doing excellent out there today, as always. And I'm glad that you came on back to the channel once again to help with the beam. And as always, we got to go to the chat, y'all. We got to go to the chat and show freaking love as y'all show me. Starting off with Julie. Hey, Bean team. Hope y'all are having a great day. Shout out to you, Julie. Julie said, I'm so ready. Let's get it, Julie. Let's freaking get it. We got Alexis in here. Hello, Sir Bean. What's up, Alexis, man? I think this is my first time ever seeing you in the live chat. So welcome to a reaction live stream with the Bean team. Happy you are here. As always, CGT. Hi, Bean team. M Flow. Hey, Bean team. My girl Stephanie Stack. Then we got M Flow showing the beans. And we got Stephanie. Happy Saturday. Alexis said, first time catching the live. So excited. Me too, Alexis. I am very excited for this one because we are going back to the one and only Nick freaking Crowley. Back to Nick Crowley being team. And long story short story long, I said, you know what? Me and the Bean team should react to some old Nick Crowley videos. And I never watched any of these, you know what I'm saying, y'all? But I always wanted to. But at the same time, I wanted to watch them with y'all. So it was like, I don't have time to actually do the reaction to them because we be reacting to so much ish over here on our channel. So it's like, you know what? We just gonna react to like 3 of them all together. And these some of his most popular videos, y'all. And I'm ready to get into it. We got our girl Lavi in here. Woo-hoo, little behind. But I'm here. What's up, Lavi? Glad you here too. And Inflow, I love me some Nick Crowley freaking too. But I digress. We're gonna get into the first video, y'all. And the title of the first one is Mr. Swirl, the internet's most disturbed user. Now, I've been seeing this one ever since I found Nick Crowley channel, y'all. I've been seeing this video like, man, I want to watch it, man. Like, what the fuck is a Mr. Swirl? You know what I'm saying? Is he a murderer? Is he a predator? Is he both of them combined? I don't know, Bing Team. But we're about to see. But before we see, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We are back to Nick freaking Crowley. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Pattaya, Thailand. 2 young brothers enter a local internet cafe, take their seats, and begin playing their favorite games. One boy was 13, and the other just 8. And together they sat there and played the way they always did, getting lost in their screens, wasting the day away, until one of the boys felt a tap on his shoulder. Standing there beside them was a similarly aged child, a stranger to the boys, but a friendly one who strikes up a conversation and eventually poses an offer. According to the unnamed child, he had a friend who lived close by that owned a special computer, one far better than the device they were currently using, and one that had any game you could ever dream of playing. And he was headed to that friend's home right now, but he didn't want to go alone. It was an offer that the boy...
No. Dude, oh my God. No, man. He finna go with this little boy that he just met and ain't no telling what the freak finna happen. Yes, Stephanie, this sounds suspicious to freak us.
Boys just couldn't refuse, and considering the child was clearly around their age, they saw no red flags and agreed to go with him, following the boy to a nearby apartment building, then up 7 flights of stairs and into a dark room. But waiting for them inside that room wasn't some sort of supercharged computer, and it surely wasn't a friend of the boys, and instead, it was a monster in every sense of the word. A depraved soul who, years down the line, would go on to become one of the most notorious predators ever to walk this earth. an entity known only at the time as Mr. Swirl. And these children had just fallen into his trap.
And one thing I'm wondering right now is, did the little boy who led the other boys to Mr. Swirl, did that little boy already know Mr. Swirl? You know what I'm saying? Is he in on it, or is he a victim too? I don't know. Let's find out.
Wow, who has been the subject of a worldwide manhunt.
Who's now at the heart of a global manhunt.
Accused of a dozen or more underage computer software to obscure his own face in the picture.
Get whatever you may need.
Hey guys, I just wanted to announce that I'm currently working on 2
Nick with his commercial, y'all. But yeah, that's my biggest question that I got so far is was the little boy who led the other boys involved with Mr. Swirl? Hold on. Might be going too far. Let's just go right here, man. I don't want to skip, man.
new Nick and Ryan channel. I would love it if you went and gave both of them a try, but if not, absolutely no worries, because this channel is not going anywhere. Okay, back to the disturbing video.
Back to it.
It's unclear if they knew what they were looking for, or if they had just happened upon it by pure chance. But in 2004, German police entered a long-forgotten storage unit, where beneath the piles of junk and old appliances, they'd unearth a single hard drive. Once plugged into the computer, the device revealed hundreds of images, some showing various locations, breathtaking scenery, delicious meals, and CP. The images showed scenes of depraved sexual abuse being done to individuals who were clearly minors, with this abuse being far worse than you'd ever imagine. And it wasn't just one child either, as across that hard drive seemed to be evidence of multiple separate instances of abuse, including images of 3 young boys taken in a dark apartment building.
Oh,
The discovery was horrid, though sadly all in a day's work for investigators who encountered things of this nature on a daily basis, and it's a discovery that likely would have never been discussed by the media after that one day, had it not been for one unusual detail. Typically, in cases involving CP, those taking the photographs and performing the actual abuse will almost always go out of their way to ensure that they aren't shown on camera. That way, if authorities should stumble upon it, they would essentially be unidentifiable. However, the dozens of photos found on this particular hard drive were different. Because rather than hiding just out of frame like all the other predators seemed to do, the man behind these images had instead gone out of his way to ensure he was featured within them, shamelessly inserting himself into every single picture, even posing for them, before, during, and after he had changed the lives of these kids forever. And although his entire body was shown in these photographs, the only thing hiding his identity was the addition of a single effect, one that swirled the man's face into a distorted pixelated mess, making him completely unrecognizable, and leaving his face to look like this.
what
There was something so
fuck?
disturbingly arrogant.
This is crazy, y'all. That's the reason this man is called Mr. Swirl. Jesus effing Christ. Every time, man, every time we watching Nick Crowley, y'all, it get freaking crazy as hell. Alexis, absolutely atrocious, man. What the hell? Inflo said this makes me want to cry. That's why he is called Mr. Swirl, because he was swirling his face up with the CP that he was doing to the children. This is just crazy. Let's keep going.
About it. A man posing with his victims while destroying their lives, hiding behind only a single swirl of color, almost as if he was taunting any investigators who might eventually find these images. And given the clear indications that this man was obviously a serial abuser, and likely still out there offending, tracking this anonymous figure down became priority 1 for law enforcement in the area. And it's there that he would be given his nickname, Mr. Swirl. And with the swirl being the only thing standing in the way of investigators getting to see his face, most would have assumed that identifying him would be a walk in the park. However, this was far from the case. As the images began to be dissected, it quickly became apparent that deciphering the sensor was going to be far more difficult than initially thought, and potentially even impossible, as the pixels had been scrambled in such a unique way that there wasn't any known method to unscramble it. And quickly, what should have been their most valuable clue, the one that stood so tantalizingly close, became a lost cause, leaving investigators at their first dead end. Realizing that things were about to get much more difficult, the German police enlisted the help of an agency known as Interpol, an international crime-stopping organization with a special unit dedicated to resolving crimes against children. Interpol immediately began to get to work, attempting to decipher the photos in a different way, this time by using context clues in the pictures to track down where exactly they were taken, which in turn could tell them where this man was from and where the abuse was taking place. But this too unearthed yet another problem. The first batch of images was discovered to have come from Cambodia, but the next showed evidence that the man was in Vietnam, and then in Thailand, and potentially even South Korea as well. Rather than gaining clarity, the locations of these images instead made the search even wider, as the man was seemingly traveling from country to country, committing his crimes and then fleeing, thus never staying long enough for law enforcement to catch up with him, making it completely unclear to investigators where he was actually from. And given just how vast his travels were, at this point, it was realized that Mr. Swirl could be anywhere, a moving target, so to speak.
And that's the scariest part, y'all. Just the fact that at this time, he is still out there somewhere. You know what I'm saying, man? It ain't like he done got caught or nothing. So at this time, he still could be creating more freaking CP videos with his victims. We got Clizzard came up in here, y'all. Clizzard said, watch Next Po Coat in Boarding School. It is very good. Might have to check it out, man. Storytelling and A+ visuals and A+, the story of it tragic. Livy said, I also think at some point he should try out some Rotten Tomato like the Soul Fairy. I don't know how to say those words. Livy. Soul Fairy, the 8-1 tragedy, and the mall collapse. I don't know, y'all. It just, man, I really don't be having time to check out a lot of different videos, y'all. But you never know, because I've been seeing a lot of people talk about that rotten mango. I've been hearing that a lot, so I may check that out for real. But as far as this story go, man, it's just crazy that this dude going from place to place. He's just moving here, there, and everywhere. Hard to track him down. But I hope by the time we get to the end, they do find him.
And an active one as well. During the investigation, which would later be dubbed Operation Vico, in reference to Vietnam and Cambodia, which seemed to be the main sites of his abuse, investigators made a disturbing discovery: that Mr. Swirl's photographs were not exclusive to just that hard drive, as photo after photo began to appear on various online forums, with all of them featuring that disturbed, swirling face. The images were shared across the web seemingly straight from the man himself, and were sent out to various predatory groups that were filled with individuals just as sick as he was. Within these groups, it was considered a badge of honor to show your body and face within the content you made, thus leading to the sender becoming well respected among his peers, which showed us two things. One, that this was likely the reason why Mr. Swirl inserted himself in these photos, as it had led to him becoming a beloved member of their twisted community, in turn granting him access to all the CP he could want. And two, that the images found on the hard drive did not account for his whole body of work, as in these chat rooms and forums, police would find far more photos featuring their suspect, raising the total from a few dozen to nearly 300.
Damn.
By this point, Mr. Swirl had been untraceable. Authorities were essentially searching for a ghost, and though these new images must have felt like a gut punch at first, they would eventually prove to be integral to their investigation, as for the first time in their hunt, Mr. Swirl had made a key error.
Good, man. And see, that's the thing. This just like when you have serial killers out here and you know they just keep on killing. Even though they getting away, they just continue to do it. Eventually, your ass gonna get caught. And it's the same way with Mr. Swirl. You just keep on doing this to all these little children. You don't think these police gonna eventually track you down, bro? You gonna make a mistake. And I'm happy that you made it.
Within these postings, Mr. Swirl had forgotten to hide his IP address, in turn revealing the general area in which they had been sent, with the location being Vancouver, Canada. This break revealed the key detail that he had some sort of tie to Vancouver, and that he was likely a sex tourist, someone who travels to countries that have loose laws around their age of consent in order to be able to abuse children without any repercussions, with Mr. Swirl clearly doing the same thing, visiting multiple countries in Asia, making his material, coming home, and then sharing it with his friends. It certainly didn't solve the case, but it was finally a step in the right direction, and unbeknownst to the team working on Operation Vico, they were quickly approaching an even bigger revelation. As authorities were working hard on pinning down Mr. Swirl's location, some members of the team held on hope that the images themselves could still be unscrambled. And upon digging a bit deeper, one member of the team would actually recognize the swirl as having come from a fairly standard editing program, which revealed something. The swirl effect wasn't like a typical sensor or blur. Those effects completely mask or even remove the pixels from the actual photograph, making them nearly impossible to decipher. But this effect did neither of those things, and instead it simply rearranged the pixels of the man's face into a swirling pattern, meaning that this image still contained all of its original pixels, and Mr. Swirl's face was somewhere in this picture. They just had to piece it together. And so, in what must have felt like a Hail Mary at the time, an investigator put one of the images into that very same editing software, then clicked that very same swirl effect, and simply reversed it. Which in turn led to this.
Got him. We got him, Bean Team. Hey, all we had to do was reverse the effect. Like, I don't even know if he thought he was being that smart by doing the swirl effect. Like, if it was that easy to freaking find out who the FU is, man. What my girl Livy said, man. Livy, the freak. True, there are so many sick people out there. It's crazy. Yeah, it is, man. Inflow. No, Stephanie. Ew. Dude, look at this sick mother. You know what, Stephanie? Look at this sick mother. You know what, man? Are you freaking kidding me, dude? Good. Get that crazy mother. Yes, Alexis. Get him. Clizzer said he looks like Ted Bundy. He ain't too much different than Ted Bundy. I freaking tell you that, man. Oh my God, y'all. Let's go. I'm glad we got him, though.
In an investigation that started all the way back in 2004, finally, Mr. Swirl's face was revealed with a single click a whole 3 years later, confirming not only what the man looked like, but also that it was truly just one man behind the swirl. And now, all they had to do was find him. Interpol first started their search by sending this man's image to every single police station the network had access to, asking if anyone across the world had a criminal in their database who might match this photo. But this attempt would fall flat, indicating that whoever this man was, he likely had no prior criminal record. Time was clearly of the essence, and they knew that with every waking moment, Mr. Swirl could be adding to his list of growing victims. And wanting to act fast, Interpol made a fairly unprecedented decision. They reached out to every single major news outlet across the world and asked them to show this man's face on their broadcast to help bring this predator to justice. Additionally, the images of Mr. Swirl's face were also plastered in all corners of the internet, and within just one day, the story was quite literally everywhere. What started as a small search for an anonymous man had become an international manhunt overnight, and within just hours, Mr. Swirl would be anonymous no more.
Our top news story this hour, the worldwide search for a suspected pedophile is concentrated in Thailand this morning. We now know the suspect is a Canadian. The CBC's Michael McAuliffe reports from Bangkok.
This morning, Interpol announced they now believe they know who the man is. He's been identified as a Canadian, 32-year-old Christopher Paul Neal.
His name is Christopher Paul Neal. Not only did Neal's face and body match perfectly with Mr. Swirl, but he also had grown up just outside of Vancouver where the IP was tracked to. And he had moved from country to country across Asia in recent years, countries like Cambodia, Vietnam, and Thailand. The resemblance was so undeniable that even one of his own family members came forward to help identify him. Christopher Neal was in fact Mr. Swirl, a discovery that came with some disturbing revelations. As it turns out, Christopher Neal was actually working as a children's English teacher, a job he had held in each of the countries he was discovered to have abused young boys in, making it look...
No, man, that just take it to a whole nother level, Bean Team. This mother was a damn teacher at a little elementary school, and you think about what the freak he done did with all these kids. That's the shit right there that make you scared to let your child leave the house. You can't even let your child go to school without being scared for them. You never know what type of teacher they got. Oh my God, man, that just took it to another level. Another level, man. Stephanie, that makes it even worse. Yes, 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 yes. Reminds me of Teacher Luke. I think that was his name. Who the hell is Teacher Luke, Lobby? But man, that is crazy. Under the jail, my girl Alexis said, please. That's usually how they lure them. That's a great point, Inflow. The fact that he was a teacher, they thinking Mr. Whatever the freak is, let's just call him Mr. Swirl. I don't even care what his real name is, even though it's revealed. We still won't call him Mr. Swirl. These little kids thinking Mr. Swirl so nice, he giving me candy and he believes in me or whatever. And Mr. Swirl got them in his bedroom. And I ain't gonna say no more, man. I ain't gonna say no more. Y'all get the point. Y'all get the freaking point, man. Oh my God. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's freaking keep going.
Likely that he used this position of power to lure in children from his classes to eventually abuse them and share their photos online. Along with this, it was also revealed that he had used his relationships with young boys to help lure in other children for him to assault. As looking back on the story that started this video, he had recruited a clueless child he knew to lure those two brothers back to his apartment. This discovery,
and that answered my question earlier at the beginning, y'all, when I was like, was the little boy in on it? And come to find out he was, because he already was getting manipulated by Mr. Swirl. This is so freaking sick, man. Like, it's one thing to be doing it with adults, but he doing this ish to little children. Disgusting, man. And also, Lavi told me about Luke. He was a teacher that went to Thailand and did horrific stuff. Okay, I got you. What's up, Mr. Mike? Glad you here too. Hey, Mr. Mike, we watching a crazy one, bro. I don't know if you've seen this video before, but this is my first time and I'm flipping the freak out.
he also shined a spotlight on his social media pages, and specifically his MySpace page, where he chillingly wrote, "Loving Asia, will I ever come back?" while in the midst of his abuse spree. But for me, one of the most shocking revelations was that those images that he had posted during the investigation weren't actually posted to his computer. At some point in the early 2000s, Neil had stopped home for a brief vacation to visit his family, and while there, he decided to upload all of his CP to his internet friends. But rather than using his personal device or a public computer, he instead broke into his own brother's laptop and uploaded his content there. That way, the images would be tracked to his brother and not him, which explained why he never bothered to hide his IP address. The more they learned, the more disturbed the story became, as even at the time they discovered his identity, it was revealed that he had currently been working in South Korea as a teacher. But when the officers arrived to arrest the man, he was already long gone. Having certainly seen his face all over the news, Christopher made the decision to flee the country, being spotted in this image captured at an airport in Thailand, as he had flown to the country likely in an attempt to find refuge. Throughout the following days and weeks, his likeness would turn up time and time again in the country, indicating that he was somewhere in Thailand hiding out. And having cornered him in the region, it wouldn't take long for police to knock on the door of an abandoned house in the middle of nowhere, in which Christopher Neal happened to be hiding, bringing the multi-year search for Mr. Swirl to an end. Following his arrest by Thai police, Neal will be charged for his assault on those 3 young boys from the internet cafe, as it was the only crime they could prove had taken place in their country, and with it carried a prison sentence of 5 years. Admittedly, the sentencing was light.
Hold up, man. 5 years? Did I hear that correctly? Let's take it back. I gotta make sure I heard that part correctly. Hold up, man.
Cafe, as it was the only crime they could prove had taken place in their country, and with it carried a prison sentence of 5 years. Admittedly, the sentencing was light, but the plan was to have Neal turned over to Canadian authorities after he did his time in Thailand, where they would also prosecute him all over again, with the hope being that they could do the same thing with countries like Cambodia and Vietnam, and essentially force him to live out his life in prison. However, when the sentence was completed in 2012, and Christopher was deported back to Canada, the shocking decision was made to allow Christopher Neal to walk free.
Oh!
When Neal was detained in Canada, authorities let him walk under the condition that he would never own a device that connected to the internet again, as well as the agreement that he would stay away from parks, schools, and also register as a sex offender. I can't for the life of me understand why this decision was made, but from what I could gather, it seemed to center around the fact that his crimes were international, and that none of his other victims had actually come forward, meaning the other countries they had hoped would prosecute never actually bothered to pursue it. And because his crimes didn't happen on Canadian soil, not much could really be done, legally speaking. And so in the end, the hunt for Mr. Swirl ended up lasting almost as long as the sentence he served. And even after everything this man did, he was let loose and allowed to assimilate back into society.
What the fuck?
But this isn't where our story ends.
Oh my God, man. I'm about to crash out, y'all. I'm about to freaking crash, man. Oh my God, man. Let me come. I'm not finna do it, being team. That shit is crazy as fuck, man. See, somebody just said it. Mr. Mike said it. That's just long story short, story long. System just failed us. They just failed us. And then you wonder why people still to this day be doing that crazy-ish. Because y'all ain't even... This man, Alexis said it earlier, should be under the jail. And come to find out he walking among us free. Let's go, y'all. Let's freaking go. I lost my train. Let's go, man. This is crazy.
Not even a full year later in 2013, it would be uncovered that Christopher Neal had somehow managed to purchase a computer and also connect it to the internet, a clear violation of his conditions. And though he claimed it was just for writing a book about his life experiences, when investigators seized the device, they would, unsurprisingly, find even more CP. 25 images to be exact, including 2.
See, that's why y'all should have locked him up from the damn beginning. You know he gonna go get right back out here and do the same damn thing, man. What the... I said I was gonna be calm, but I can't help it, being team. I can't help it. This is crazy. This is just stupid. Oh my God, let's go.
With his signature swirling face. As it turns out, Christopher had been using the device to contact his fellow pedophile friends, where he would even message one of his disturbed friends right after his release, saying, "The swirl liveth still," proving without a shadow of a doubt that he was remorseless about his crimes and took pride in his new nickname. And somehow, the discovery got even worse from there, as it was revealed that a friend of his had shown him how to access the deep web and how to share these photographs in practically an untraceable way, thus allowing him to continue being active in these predatory groups, no matter what restrictions were placed on him. After Canadian police made this discovery, Christopher would yet again be arrested, and this time they had the chance to really send a message and put him away forever, as clearly letting him walk away the first time was a mistake, as he wasn't reformed even in the slightest. And so, to make up for this, the judge would give Christopher Neal the whopping sentence of just 5.5 years, with time served, meaning that he would only end up in jail for a little over 14 months. The prosecution praised the sentence as a win, and Christopher vowed to change his ways, but it just doesn't sit right that as of 2016, Mr. Swirl, the man responsible for dozens and dozens of instances of extreme child abuse, which by the way are just the ones that we know of, is a free man, now living a normal life in Vancouver. And worst of all, he now has access to share this material through untraceable avenues, meaning that there is a good chance that he could still be out there obtaining, sharing, and who knows, maybe even producing his content. The case of Mr. Swirl is such a frustrating one. For once, a case of this nature gained worldwide attention and was pursued by the full extent of the law, with the folks over at Interpol doing a fantastic job with the case, only for it all to be deflated once he was finally captured. And just knowing that he's out there living a normal life after all this, after all the lives that he's forever affected, makes this one of the most disheartening cases we've covered to date.
Oh my fucking... I think went from mad to sad, Bean Team. Like, seriously, man. I'm just freaking sad, man. This is just so goddamn frustrating. That shit so fucked up. Oh my God, man. How in the fuck? Yes, Mike. Fail, dude. Like, what? Hey, Alexis put the judges under the jail too. Might as freaking well, man. What the fuck? CGT, the judges need to be investigated. Y'all, I did not know that going into this video, I was going to leave up out of it this damn frustrated and just deflated, man. This dude is still out there, y'all. He is still out here walking among us. And if he walking freaking among us, best believe he's still doing what the freak he been doing. Because every time he get caught doing it, all he's getting is just little slaps on the wrist. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, what the hell, dude? Oh my God. Him Flo said, okay, Bean Team, we gonna find Mr. Swirl. Somebody gonna have to find him. But for real though, he may be getting away with it right now on Earth, y'all. But when he have to go meet his maker, because we all got to go meet the maker one day, that's when he gonna get what he deserve. And that's just my faith. That's just my belief. You know what I'm saying, man? God gonna get his ass, man. That junk got me cussing so much. I'm not even trying to cuss like that, Bean Team. That just picked me off, man. Too bad he's in a Canadian prison. They are nice. A great point, Clearser. American prisoners would put him on a t-shirt if they found out, and we wouldn't reach this conclusion. I agree with that too. There's a lot of prisons out here. They found out that you in jail for freaking sexually assaulting little children. Boy, you wouldn't make it up out of there. You wouldn't even make it to 5 years. You wouldn't make it 5 days if they find out. He is probably protected. I don't freaking know. Mr. Mike said judges in on it. Man, at this point, it do kind of make you look at the police, the judges, the judicial system, the prosecutor, the jury. Somebody like, man, y'all got some ish going on because ain't no way in the hell this dude should still be free. But I digress, BT. We still got 2 more, y'all. We still got 2 more we're going to check out today. And the next one is titled... Hold up. The next one is titled
Returning to
The Seattle Zombie Woman, an Internet Mystery. I don't know, y'all. I'm just going to throw this prediction out there that maybe, just maybe, this lady is on acid or something. You know, acid make people turn into bath salts or something, make people turn into zombies. Well, let's check it out. Let's get into it.
Returning to the state of Washington is always a new adventure for me. I want to share with you the sights and sounds of this beautiful northwest corner of our nation.
May 5th, 2021, a disturbance is reported alongside a popular roadway in Seattle, Washington, drawing heavy police presence to the area. According to witnesses on the scene, a woman had been spotted limping down the street, wailing in agony while holding an unknown object in her hand. The woman was acting incredibly erratic and appeared to be seriously injured, though despite this, it had apparently taken as many as 8 police officers to subdue and restrain her. And this was far from the most chilling detail, with that being in the woman's appearance, as onlookers would go on to claim that there was something off about her face. It was unnatural, almost zombie-like. The story began as whispers among the community, with brief mentions being made across the web, though not many would take these posts seriously. As to outsiders, this seemed to be yet another internet hoax, or perhaps just some kind of extreme overreaction. But in reality, this was a very real scene that played out that evening, and one that was about to be put on display for the whole world to see, as the first video would quickly emerge, thrusting this case into an international spotlight and giving birth to an internet mystery known today as the Seattle Zombie Woman. Before we dive into this, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a brand new
Nick with his commercial again, y'all. I'm just wondering, how did she turn into the zombie woman? I'm pretty sure some type of drugs or something being involved with this, y'all. But I don't know. Let's get back into it.
to my first upload. Thank you guys as always for your support, and I will see you over there.
the fuck?
The video immediately took the world by storm, as it showed a woman with a ghostly pale face, with half her head shaven, as she limps across the street wearing only one shoe. And with each step she takes, she seems to yell in pain, before the video quickly cuts. In her hand appears to be the mysterious object, which the uploader of the video claimed to be a fanny pack, and disturbingly, it appeared to be soaked in blood, along with many other parts of the woman's body. In terms of context,
No, man, if I seen this ish happening, or if I seen this video clip, I think this is like staged. You know what I'm saying? I think they doing this for TikTok or something. They doing this to make a YouTube short. This gotta be fake.
there wasn't much, as despite the video going viral across the site, information on this individual dubbed the Seattle Zombie Woman was practically non-existent. According to the uploader, police had arrived and intervened just after the recording had stopped, in that it had taken a full team of officers to ultimately restrain her, and eventually take her away, likely to get some form of treatment, though they admit that they weren't sure what happened from there, or, just as importantly, what had led to this moment. Though interestingly enough, despite the fact that the answers were not emerging, other recordings certainly were. On the same day this now infamous TikTok was posted, another clip would be posted to YouTube by a separate user, seemingly showing a different angle of the same event, with this version being significantly longer. Here, we get a better angle of the woman's face, as it appears completely abnormal, with her eyes and lips appearing to be pitch black, which is a dramatic contrast to her pale complexion. All in all, she looks sickly, and appears to be acting completely unhinged. Near her, multiple cops are seen attempting to calm her down, though she just continues walking and screaming, even escaping their grasp at the end of the video, while continuing her erratic behavior. From there, it's assumed that the struggle continued before finally coming to an end sometime later, which was showcased in yet another video posted to TikTok. And it's in this clip where the mystery takes a far darker turn, as we can hear the lady say her first discernible words. The video shows the woman begging the officers not to take her to the hospital, pleading as if her life depended on it, and it only gets stranger and even more tragic as she begins pleading with them not to take her baby. This may seem
Like, I don't know what to make of this one, y'all. Like, seriously, man. At this point, at first I was thinking this was staged or something, but now I do think she is crazy, but it may not be drugs. She may be having some mental, like, health issues, like, going on or something in her head. Scoop Jam said, looks like your profile picture. Hey, it's very similar. I will say that, man, because her eyes and ears look freaking crazy when Nick showed that close up of her face and you couldn't even see nothing, no white, just straight black. Like, oh no, y'all. Freaking wild, dude. And we got Jay Johnny Cruz. Hi, Bean Team. What's up, Jay? What's up, JJ? Glad you here, man. We having fun on another freaking Saturday watching this ish, and it has been freaking crazy. Mr. Mike said, on that shit. I don't know, Mr. Mike. Maybe not. I can't tell at this point, but let's keep going.
Seem like a random one-off comment, until you realize that the object in her hand had seemingly changed. Even though the footage is pretty hard to decipher, it seems as though that bloody fanny pack that she had been holding in the original clip was no longer in her possession, and instead, she appears to be holding something entirely different. This object has been the source of great speculation, as the blurry video makes it hard to definitively identify, though some, including myself, seem to think that it closely resembles a baby, and more specifically, the head of a baby.
Oh, shit. That's why she was saying, don't take my baby. That's what the fuck she was walking around with, the head of a little baby. Maybe that's why she was so bloodied, because she cut the damn baby head off. Man, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be saying all this on YouTube, y'all. Oh my God.
This was the last clip we would receive from the incident, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and overwhelming concern for the woman shown in the clips. Though despite the popularity of this case and all the questions put forth, the answers never came. Bizarrely, no official statement would be made by the Seattle PD, despite their officers being shown in this viral video. And on top of this, despite the story being picked up by a few news stations, no official conclusion or clarification would be brought forward. And given the lack of context and the lack of closure, this internet mystery was born, and the theories would quickly spread like wildfire.
This is crazy.
Right out of the gate, many users would be quick to call this story a fake, believing that this was nothing more than a setup, mainly due to the lack of reporting and also because of the woman's appearance, as given how unnatural she looked, many believed that she was simply wearing a heavy amount of makeup, with some calling her appearance and demeanor almost cartoonish. Plus, if we're being honest, TikTok is completely filled with fabricated stories just like this, leaving many set on this whole situation being fake. However, this actually isn't the case. One of the few updates we've gotten in this case came from the discovery of official police dispatch radio, which was found publicly available on a site known as Broadcastify. There, users would find audio from May 5th in the Seattle area that seemed to depict this exact incident, with the audio being just as chilling as the videos themselves.
3008 16th Avenue West. There's a female walking eastbound on West Barrett Street that has blood running down her face and leg. She's also yelling and limping. She's described as a white female, 20 to 30, 5'5 to 5'7", thin build, with a shaved head and brown patches of hair, wearing a gray t-shirt, blue jeans, and one white shoe. 15th and West Armour Street on the west side, just north of. Send an AMR for an ITA.
The recording seems like an exact match to these videos, from the way the subject is described, all the way to that unmistakable screaming in the background. And this is undoubtedly from the Seattle PD. It came straight from their official police line, meaning that whatever this incident truly was, the police response to it was very real. This note also seems to disprove a long-standing theory that the clips were actually from the set of a movie being filmed in the area, as coincidentally, during this exact time period, there was a major film being produced in Seattle called Kimmy.
On Monday, film crews were spotted in Westlake Center shooting a new HBO movie called Kimmy,
which many had speculated that this was some kind of PR stunt from the project. But given the fact that this was a real police response, and that the film has actually since come out, with there being no mention of any zombies or any similar incidences within it, this is yet another debunked theory. And while on the subject of debunked theories, I want to briefly mention what at one point had actually become the most popular theory surrounding this case, which is honestly incredibly offensive. And that is the claim that this woman was Marilyn Stanley, a woman who was brutally attacked by her ex-boyfriend and his dog, leading to devastating injuries. And because of her disfigurement, people pointed to her being the Seattle zombie woman, believing that this footage was taken just moments after her assault. However, despite so many people reporting this, it is incredibly easy to disprove, as the Marilyn Stanley attack took place in Kentucky, not Seattle. And the assault happened all the way back in 2015, a full year before TikTok was even created, and a full 6 years before this video was filmed. This theory was never a possibility, and one Google search would have shown that, but unfortunately that didn't stop the speculation. And the outlandish theories continued from there, as some would quickly fall off the deep end, believing that this woman truly was a real-life zombie. The theory is obviously very ridiculous, but it was
Yes.
made a bit more intriguing, as around the same time, there were reportedly similar occurrences emerging throughout the world, of individuals looking and behaving in a similar manner.
But the one thing for me, y'all, that let me know that she is not literally a zombie, because what do zombies do, being team, to humans? They try to freaking eat them. That lady wasn't trying to eat nobody. You know what I'm saying, man? They literally be trying to bite you. She wasn't trying to bite nobody, so she is not a zombie in that sense. But she did kind of have the look of one. I agree with that too, but no, she is not a zombie. I still don't know what's going on with her, to be honest, man. I don't know if she, like I said, is she on drugs? Do she got mental health issues? I still don't freaking know at this point. Let's go.
To make things even more curious, this video soon began being removed and censored from both TikTok and YouTube, with only a few versions being left throughout the web. And adding this with the fact that there was no media coverage following this event and no police statements made to the public, despite the situation's virality, it left many convinced that this was some form of a greater cover-up. But ultimately, it's not hard to tell that this theory was just fear-mongering. And at the end of the day, it's a theory that is highly unrealistic, though interesting to speculate. More logically, it's been theorized that this lady had been in some sort of car accident, as she was shown walking alongside a fairly busy road and appeared to almost be in shock, with her potentially having lost her baby in the wreck, adding to the trauma of the moment. But it seems completely unrealistic that if a child had passed away, there would have been no reports about it. I mean, surely this would have brought at least local media coverage, and it definitely would have been mentioned in the police blotter, which it wasn't. And given that no mention of a child was made on the official police recording at the scene, this idea, thankfully, has been ruled out, meaning that this object was likely something entirely different. Though even with this, it still leaves the car accident theory as a very real possibility, as it could explain why she was acting this way, along with her apparent injuries. Along with this possible explanation,
I don't know, Bean Team. I don't like the car accident theory either, man, because it's gonna be like police reports of a freaking car accident, especially if the car accident killed a freaking child. Like, come on, I don't know what the freak going on with this one. I hope we get an answer before the end, though. I hope this is not an unsolved mystery.
There was another theory that I initially thought to be the most plausible, with that being that this was all the result of drugs and/or severe mental illness, which would not only explain her behavior, but also the lack of official reporting, as a woman on drugs causing a scene is nothing all that noteworthy, especially in a major city. And as for her appearance, well, drugs can literally turn people into shells of themselves and make them completely unrecognizable. And her ragged and torn clothing could just be the result of potential homelessness, a fate that sadly befalls far too many people in our society who deal with these very struggles. Though with all this being said, landing on one definitive conclusion was unfortunately impossible based off the limited information available, and despite there being plausible theories put forth, a true answer seemed further away than ever, especially as the months began to pass. But even though the situation began to seem hopeless, a break would soon emerge out of nowhere in the form of police body cam footage that would blow this case wide open. On March 9th, 2022, a YouTube account by the name of Rebecca MS would upload a video revealing her findings into the Seattle zombie woman mystery, as even though the world had seemingly forgotten about this bizarre case, Rebecca had taken it upon herself to find its true conclusion, which led her all the way to the discovery of this footage.
Hey, ma'am! Hey, it's okay! You want to tell us what's going on? Is that real? blood or fake blood? It almost looks like fake blood.
I don't think any of this is real blood. It's all just goulash. Their face burnt. No, it's gonna make our
It took me a little bit while, but it's like almost like Halloween, like zombie makeup.
The video shows the Seattle zombie woman incident from the perspective of the police on scene, and although this further proves that the response to this incident was in fact real, it also proves that the incident itself was not, as the first responders began to quickly realize that this lady wasn't even injured, and she was instead wearing heavy theatrical makeup with fake blood, leaving the officers and bystanders just as confused as the rest of us.
got away like this is super bizarre. Yeah.
And the biggest revelation to come of all this was the discovery of this individual's true identity, with her real name being Kimberly Kasai, a revelation that would in turn lead to the discovery of her social media profiles, and ultimately the truth behind this internet mystery. Not long.
Are you fucking kidding me, man? This is a hoax. Not even this is a hoax. This was all done for a TikTok video. Is that what Nick about to tell us, man? Are you serious? Like Alexis said, oh freaking wow. Really, dude? I feel like if that is what this is, she need to be freaking locked up or something. What the hell? Somebody get Norman Reedus and Andrew Leakin, LOL. Hey, The Walking Dead, man. The freaking Walking Dead. Oh my God. Has this lady just been trolling?
Long after the incident occurred, Kimberly would post this picture in full makeup, matching identically to the Seattle zombie woman, along with the caption, "I am not your lab rat." She would then make a few other posts on Facebook, which revealed that she had carried out this whole stunt as a way to voice her opinions on certain political topics, which I unfortunately can't go more into here. But in the end, despite the police and paramedic presence being very real, this woman, the Seattle zombie woman, was simply acting. This is truly one of the strangest cases that I've seen in a long time, since its theories were so dark and so disturbing, yet in reality, this was nothing more than a bizarre publicity stunt. And in the end, it's obviously a good thing that none of these theories were true, and that no one was injured as a result, making this one of the very few internet mysteries that actually arrived at a definitive, and I guess somewhat satisfying conclusion. I want to give a huge shout out to my God tier patron members.
I don't even know if that one was satisfying. Oh, Nick Crowley, you said a satisfying conclusion. Well, I guess it is in the sense that she's not on drugs and she don't have mental health issues. So that's cool. That's cool. But that is a ridiculous troll job, though, man. Stephanie said, oh, hold on. Let me pull up Stephanie. She said she wasting our time. I'm done. Yeah, man, just feel like a freaking waste of time. Like, really, lady? You out here making a political statement by doing that ish, and then you got people all over the world just coming up with all these different crazy ass theories. She had a baby and she cut the baby head off, and she got in a car accident, and this and that and that and that, and she this lady from way back in 2015, and all this craziness, man, because of you doing a political stunt. Oh my God, man, Scoop Jam, bruh. Like, seriously, brah. You what the hell? Oh, man, I still say she's mentally ill for doing that. Hey, Lively, that's a good point. Like, seriously, you got a good point with that one. Like, it's still something wrong with her to carry out that and involving the police and all that. The police can be out here getting real criminals and ish while they dealing with your freaking act. That's freaking crazy, man. Mr. Mike said, hey, that's one thing that I will agree with, Mike. Mystery is solved. I agree with that, man. I'm glad it went unsolved, and now I'll be wondering about it for the next freaking however long, wondering, was the lady on drugs? Was she this? So, yeah, I agree with that, too. Mystery solved. But I digress, being team. That was another good one, man. Let me make sure I hit that like button on that one. Look how many fucking likes the man got for the video. 302,000 likes on a video is freaking insane. And since I'm talking about likes, I don't think I like this one right here. The Mr. Swirl, that was crazy, y'all. That was crazy too. But we got one more to go, man. We got one more to go real quick. Let me see what Livy said. Livy said, for real, though, she did the most. Imagine if someone did have mental issues and believed zombies and saw her. Yes, like, come on, dude. Like, that was a terrible, not political, publicity stunt. That was just freaking terrible. You taking it too far at that point. But we're gonna get to the last one, y'all. We got one more to freaking go. I appreciate all y'all being here. We just hit the hour mark. And the title of it is YouTube.
Returning to the state of.
Hold up. Let me get right. YouTube's fake animal rescue channels. And I'm gonna go and hit the like button on that one right now. Now, what is this one about, y'all? YouTube's fake animal rescue channels. Sound like people just getting money and abusing animals to me. Long story short, story long. They using animals and abusing them and taking freaking money. I don't know, but we're about to see. Let's do it.
As a platform, YouTube is home to an incredible amount of channels run by users who are desperate for fame, to the point that they would do just about anything to achieve it.
I may fail, but if I fail, I want to die trying.
A risky attempt at fame left aspiring YouTube star Pedro Ruiz III dead.
This is nothing new, of course, but every day I find it more and more shocking the lengths that people will go through just to gain internet clout.
Yes.
Today's example is one of the more disturbing. For starters, let's address something. The internet has long since had an animal abuse problem. So often, accounts will pop up showcasing vile and disgusting treatments of animals by users desperately in search of attention. This issue has always been rampant, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it will ever stop, as new cases seemingly appear every week or so. But on YouTube, there's a similar issue happening right now, only it features a slight variation. It seems that on the platform, there are a variety of channels that are abusing animals, such as cats and dogs, just not in the way that we are used to.
Hold on, time out real quick, y'all. Real quick, because now I'm thinking about a thing that be popping up on my YouTube short, and maybe y'all have seen it too. But long story short, story long, there be this freaking YouTube short that be popping up, and it looked like it may be in either Asia or Africa, but it be a freaking monkey, some type of little, not even a chimp, just a monkey, and it be a dog, y'all, and the monkey be freaking abusing the hell out of the dog, like it be picking at him and playing with him, but the way that the dog be reacting, you know that the dog do not like this ish. It stresses the dog out, and you can tell that ish. Like you can tell the dog is not playing back. The dog is really like scared of this freaking damn monkey, but the monkey just keep picking with him, and it's multiple videos of that, and the videos be having like millions of views or something. I know some of y'all know what the freak I'm talking about with that, man, and it's probably gonna be the same sort of situation that we get into now. I digress. Let's keep going. That just popped into my head real quick.
Instead, the videos paint these abusers to be heroes. It's a difficult phenomenon to explain, so let me just show you. To start our investigation, we're going to be taking a look at an account called KM Animal, a channel with just 2 posts, but that's all they needed to make a lasting impact. A video entitled "Boy Rescues Baby Puppy Was Bitten by Big Dog" was posted to YouTube on April 3rd, 2018. The caption is filled with broken English, but basically what they're saying is that they found this puppy who had a bite from a bigger dog that they couldn't find, and they rescued the puppy by giving it medicine. Now, I'm going to censor most of this video because there is nothing more triggering to me than seeing a puppy in pain, but it basically shows a dog with what appears to be a bleeding cut near its neck. The dog is clearly in pain and totally terrified. But luckily, these kids stumbled upon it and were able to bring it out to safety. They rubbed some medicine on the dog, and just like that, it was back on its feet. There was even a follow-up video posted to the channel that showed the puppy being completely fine without so much as a scar or even any sign of a wound for that matter. Honestly, this is some wholesome content. They saved this poor, adorable, helpless puppy. These kids are heroes. Is exactly what they
Nah.
wanted you to think.
Exactly, man. They staged that ish. This is all staged.
In the first video I showed you, people noticed that something was off with the puppy's supposed bite marks. The story was that a big dog had bit the young puppy, causing a severe injury. But there's something about this injury. Something isn't quite right. On the puppy, there is only one mark that looks more like a cut than anything. If he had truly been bitten, then wouldn't there have been injuries all over his body, given the fact that grown dogs typically have 42 teeth? So if a grown dog had really bitten this puppy with that much strength, then those other teeth surely would have caused damage too. So the
Great freaking point, Nick. Great point. Ain't no way in the hell a dog gonna bite another dog and it's just gonna be in that one little spot like that. Especially that little puppy. Man, a big ass dog will rip that puppy to damn shreds. Seriously. So come on, dude. We done caught you in lie number one.
possibility of this actually being a bite mark is all but impossible unless the dog literally only had one tooth. Plus, the wound very clearly isn't a puncture, and again, it looks more like a slice, which is inconsistent with a bite mark as well. And something else wasn't adding up either. When looking at the update video, the young puppy was still a puppy, and it looked to be the same exact size. Yet the wound had healed over so much that it was unrecognizable. Large wounds on dogs like that would typically take as long as 6 weeks to heal if left open. And that's not including the months that it would take to fully scar over, and then the years it would take for that scar to become this unnoticeable. So all in all, the recovery time for the dog to look that good could have been years, and yet that dog was still a puppy. Now going a little further, this looks to be a Labrador, meaning that by just 3 months old, it would already be nearing 25 pounds, and by 6 months, it would be as high as 50. But this dog is just as small as it was before, making this update video all but impossible to be true. So what does this all mean? It means that everything here is clearly staged. Everything but the dog's wound. And since we already know that it couldn't have come from a dog like they said, it appears that these kids did the unthinkable. They took a perfectly healthy puppy, filmed it as footage to use for their update video, and then they took a sharp object, likely a knife, and cut the puppy on its chest. After the dog was injured, they placed it under a deck and pretended to rescue it so that they could look like the heroes. That explains why the wound looked more like a cut, and it explains why they never found the actual dog who bit the puppy, because it didn't exist. Stabbing an innocent puppy to look cool on YouTube and acting like you're a hero, it's one of the most disgusting things that I've seen on the platform. Honestly, this makes me just lose so much faith in humanity, but I was at least happy to see that people were smart enough to see through this channel's lies. Only this wasn't actually the case. See, there's some information that I haven't shared with you yet. This channel actually wasn't the original KM Animals. In fact, both of these videos were just re-uploads. Instead, the original KM Animals channel had amassed nearly 1 million subscribers by doing this very same practice, and it was universally loved. Every video was fake and put these animals' lives at risk. Yet even for the videos we just analyzed, the support was overwhelmingly positive, with it garnering millions of views, and nobody caught on for a very long time, until it was eventually exposed by YouTubers Pay Money Wubby and Everyday Stray. Once the truth had been revealed, the channel was shut down, with YouTube vowing to put an end to fake animal rescue content. But it is worth noting that KM Animals still has a YouTube channel that is functioning to this day called KM Daily, whose videos also deal with animals. Now, it doesn't appear that they're abusing them anymore, but it does rub me the wrong way that they're still able to post content and rack up hundreds of thousands of subscribers who likely have no idea about the horrible things they've done in the past.
Yeah, that is rubbed me the wrong way too. Even if these new videos that they putting out now not showing them abusing animals, that's just what they showing us. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what the freak they doing in the background. No, YouTube, y'all need to get rid of them people. Like, seriously, we just need to get that type of video category out of the complete algorithm of YouTube or something. But at the same time, I take that back, because I have seen a lot of wholesome videos, y'all, and I know a lot of y'all have seen them too, of like people who would discover or find this dog who on his last type of leg, breath or whatever, emaciated and all that, but they'll show the progress from month 1 to 2 to 6 to a year, and you will see the dog get his fur back, get his life back, get his vigor back. So there are real channels out there. So I take that back, talking about just get rid of all of them, but get rid of them. The KM mother, they should not have no more channels. That's at least them. I don't know, y'all. I'm getting kind of mad again, man, because I don't like this abuse of these freaking animals, especially like dogs, man. Dogs are literally a man's best friend. I don't care what your dog would never get mad at you. Every time your dog see you, it's like they first time seeing you. You know what I'm saying? They that freaking happy, y'all. They are so freaking loyal. There is no reason to abuse a freaking dog.
But I'll let you be the judge of that. The exposing of KM Animals was a huge deal in 2019, and with YouTube's response, one would imagine that it would be much harder to get away with on the platform today. But this doesn't seem to be the case, as in the past week I've been able to find a few channels that are concerning. Let's begin with Happy Dog. This channel was brought to my attention by a Reddit post made by movie expert 786, who questioned how legitimate the channel really was. In looking into it, I see what they mean. Happy Dog has been actively posting on YouTube for just 10 months, but in that span, they've been able to amass 170,000 subscribers and 48 million views, with most of their videos receiving a high amount of praise. In the majority of their uploads, the people behind the camera will find a trapped or injured animal in seemingly an impossible situation. Situations that clearly wouldn't happen often in nature. And yet they find a new one every single day, it seems like, as they've recently began uploading practically daily. Now, this alone could just be a coincidence, so let's take a look at some specific examples of these impossible situations. Starting with the video, Rescue the Puppy Trapped in Fishing Net.
The net is around him so that he cannot run.
In this video, we see a dog tangled desperately in a red net, making it impossible for the puppy to move. That's when the camera cuts to a scene that shows us where the puppy was found. Just looking at this fort of chairs, it clearly seems staged, and something about it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah.
See how tangled up this dog is? Every limb is wrapped, even its neck is caught around it. And we know this puppy is completely immobilized, meaning that it couldn't have walked into this fort after it was already tangled. So that means that this net must have been inside of that little den, and the puppy would have had to climb in and get caught up in it inside of there. But in my opinion, that's not even possible. For any animal to get this hopelessly trapped, it would have had to have rolled around, tried to escape, and moved all over the place. It's a situation where the more you move, the more you trap yourself. You don't get this caught just by standing on the net or laying on it. It requires movement, and most importantly, space to get this stuck. Yet that den barely had enough room for the puppy to fit in. There is nowhere near enough room for this dog to have gotten this tangled in that small little space. And we already know he couldn't have crawled in afterwards. And there's more. When I watched the video back, I noticed that the thumbnail seemed strange, because at no point of this video was the puppy ever in this position. Not once, and they supposedly showed the rescue from the moment they found the dog to the moment it was freed. So this shows us that this thumbnail was clearly staged, meaning that they had this dog tangled up off camera in the net, completely discrediting the idea that they had found it and immediately freed it. Now, with all this considered, I believe
this one staged too. Long story short, story long. This ish is freaking staged, y'all. And I just thought about it, man. Earlier today, literally before this live stream, y'all, I watched a YouTube short of a dog being rescued. But I know this one was real because the dog was locked in a car and it was hot outside. I know how to talk. It was hot outside, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's like 100 freaking degrees. And the police had to break open the window to let the dog out. And when they let the dog out, they gave the dog some water and all that. That was a real one. But this ish right here making me start to wonder how many of these videos that I watch of these dog rescues are real. I know there's some real ones out there, but they're going to have me looking a little, you know what I'm saying, looking a little harder at it to see if this ish is fake or not. Because this is crazy, man. My girl Diana in the building. No way you randomly, let me put it in quotations like she did, find injured animals on a weekly basis. Exactly, man. There's no way possible. For real, that's sucks in itself. I agree, Lively. This is just fake.
Believe that this video is definitely a fake, and they put this puppy in a horrible situation just for views. And the content only gets more dangerous from here. In the video, rescue poor puppy with his mouth tied up. They claim to have stumbled upon a dog who had a rock fallen on him and who also had his mouth tied up. Now, a few concerns here. If the dog was covered by a rock, you wouldn't be able to see it. And if its mouth was tied up, you wouldn't be able to hear it from far away. So how again did they notice it? Also, you see them pulling the rock off of the dog, yet the camera shows the ditch that the puppy was found in earlier in the video, which made me realize, where did the rock fall from? The dog was in the middle of a wide ditch. Now, by the end of the video, they are clearly pretending that they have never seen this dog before by acting afraid of it, and so to try and help, they start smacking it? It's very disturbing and very dumb at the same time, because after all, the dog's mouth is literally tied. So with all of this, I feel like this is another fake video where they actually put the rock on top of that dog and tied its mouth just for content.
Yeah, it's another fake one too. And you know what I just thought about, being team? I'm gonna take it a step further with this ish. Not only should they be took off YouTube, they need to go to jail. They need to go do some time for this itch, man. They need to be charged with animal abuse or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a crime that they commit, y'all, making these fake rescue videos. Like, what the freak? They need to go to jail.
Now, one of the most obvious signs that this is all being fake is an upload from June 10th called Rescue Puppy from Snake Attack, Crying for Help. This video is very graphic, so I'll blur it, but it shows a puppy being attacked by a snake. In the beginning, the people behind the camera take 30 seconds to film the situation, with one questioning, what are we gonna do?
Oh my god, so what we do now?
All the while, you can clearly see that the other person has a snake pole and could have easily helped the situation 30 seconds before, instead of just filming the dog literally being killed. So they prioritized getting a good shot and setting a good story to saving the dog's life, which shows us that at the very least, they valued their production quality over the dog's life in this situation. And I also want to briefly mention that this dog looks an awful lot like one of the puppies they had rescued a month previously.
Wow.
But this video is important for one specific reason. Out of the first 5 months of this channel, this was the first snake attack rescue that was uploaded, which leads me to believe that this is a fairly rare thing, as if they had had these rescues before, we would have seen them. Now, this video gained a staggering 4 million views, which is the first time that the channel had gotten close to this kind of viewership since its first month of existence. So in other words, this video kind of broke a dry spell on the channel, which tells us something, that these snake videos are good for views. And so interestingly enough, after that video went viral, all of a sudden they started rescuing more animals from these snakes. Clearly this was something that wasn't common, as it had never happened in the channel's first 5 months. Yet since that video went viral, they've posted 13 other snake rescue videos in just 2 months. It's
oh, freaking course they did. They went with what went viral. You know what I'm saying? Like,
clear to me that they saw how well the first one did and continued staging these attacks so they could keep pulling views. And some of these videos are so clearly fake. Like this one, for example. The video shows a puppy being attacked by what they say is a king cobra. In it, the dog is dirty and has been bitten by the snake on its leg. Now, a king cobra bite can have enough venom to kill a full-grown elephant, so this puppy should not have survived long after this. Yet Happy Dog takes the puppy directly to the vet, gives it a shot, and miraculously it survives. So that alone is unlikely, as the dog wouldn't have survived for more than a few minutes. But also, I noticed something else. When the dog is being attacked, it is dirty and bleeding from its leg. Yet, by the time they reach the hospital, the dog is perfectly clean, and the injury is nowhere to be found. So much like KM Animal, it appears that this was filmed before the attack, and that the entire thing was staged. And if it truly was a king cobra, then it's likely that the puppy was killed while they were filming this video. And there are inconsistencies with all of these snake videos, leading me to believe that most of these dogs are dying or being severely injured during these staged scenes. Now I'm sure you guys get the point already, but if you're still on the fence, here's this. On August 13th, the channel posted a video of a cat being attacked by a snake in a tree. It's very graphic, so I won't show it all, but at one point we see this random kitten standing on the tree. Now this is significant because somehow, just 3 days later, the same exact kitten wound up stuck inside of a fence for them to rescue. And you can tell for sure that it's the same kitten by the pattern on its back. What are the chances of that? Randomly seeing a cat at an animal rescue, and then having to rescue that same kitten just a few days later. Again, this shows us that this channel seems to be fake, which makes these videos so concerning. Because I failed to mention that this channel also shows videos of dogs with broken legs thanks to supposed car accidents, and puppies caught in mouse traps whose legs wound up mangled. Assuming that this channel is faking these videos, then this would mean that they are intentionally mangling these puppies for their content. And the fact that we've seen some of these dogs get bit by actual king cobras, then we already know that they are likely killing these dogs for content as well. Now, when I was investigating this channel, I happened to find a comment on one of their videos from an account named The Rescue Journey TV. And what I found on that channel was virtually a mirror image of the two that we've discussed so far, except this one might be even more shameless. This channel has very similar red flags to Happy Dog, with one of the biggest being their obvious attempt to follow views. A year ago, one of their videos showed a kitten trapped in between the wheels of a truck, with the video gaining a staggering 11 million views. Now, just a few months after that, a similar video was posted that showed another kitten rescued from the tires with a similar thumbnail, and this one got 31 million views. And much like the snakes on the Happy Dog channel, the people at Rescue Journey TV likely saw how well these rescues were doing and started doing them more to gain views.
Yep, it's like they care more about the views than they care about the animals. That's just what it go down to, being team. That's what it comes down to, man. And it's so freaking sad.
As in the following week, 2 more videos would be posted of the same exact type of rescue. It's pretty ridiculous to believe that this could happen 3 times in the span of 1 week. Because in a lot of ways, it doesn't even make sense how these kittens would get stuck there in the first place. Also, I just want to quickly mention that the last 2 videos they did on this specific type of rescue severely underperformed. And interestingly enough, after those videos did so poorly, there hasn't been a similar rescue since. So it happened so often that they had 3 of the same rescue in 1 week. Yet since the views ran dry, there hasn't been another one in the past 7 months. Again, I feel like this all hints to the idea that this is staged in an attempt to chase views. I also want to add that each of the thumbnails that they used for these types of rescues were photoshopped, with them adding blood to make the video more clickable, further exploiting these situations for their own gain. But it gets worse, because when I said it was shameless, I meant it. Because this channel seems to be quote-unquote saving the same cats and dogs over and over again. For example, in one video, they find a kitten trapped in rubble. And then a week later, he finds another cat stuck in a tree.
And it's like at this point, man, I think that they know that a lot of their viewers know that this ish is fake, but they still doing it. And it's crazy because at the same time, I think a lot of viewers know that it's fake, but they still watching it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like freaking the WWE. We know it's fake, but we still love it. But the WWE wrestling ain't hurt nobody for real. This ish is hurting those freaking animals for real, man. Oh my God. Yes, Lively. They make it hard to believe actual rescue videos, to be honest. When you watching ish like this, like I said, now I'm gonna be watching those rescue videos a little harder that I see pop up on my YouTube, man. What the freak?
And if you pause the video and look a little closer, the cat has the same exact markings on its back. It's the same kitten, much like the tactic that happy dogs used. Except they do it over and over again. They use the same animals as props for their videos to act like they're saving them. And knowing these are staged is terrifying, as this channel features videos of dogs and kittens drowning and being crushed by rubble, meaning that they're likely putting these animals through all of that. And if you had any doubts that this channel is faked, here's the kicker. Many of his videos start with this guy just casually farming, minding his own business. And miraculously, every single time, after just a few seconds, he happens to hear an animal in distress in the nearby area. Like, how dumb do they think we are? And what are the odds that as soon as the camera turns on, an animal randomly starts crying out for help? Which also just so happens to be what your entire channel is centered around. Now, I go a little more in depth on this channel, but it seems like a lot of their commenters have already caught on to the scam. So I'll just leave it at that. Both Happy Dog and The Rescue Journey TV are 2 of the most sickening channels that I've ever encountered. And somehow they are allowed to continue posting this content on YouTube. All the while, there are ads on virtually every single video. This is quite literally monetized animal abuse. And we've seen their willingness to chase views and put these animals in more and more extreme situations. So who knows what other types of abuse they'll put them through next. It's honestly horrifying to think that this will keep happening and keep getting worse and worse, until hopefully they're eventually stopped. And these are far from the only channels out there like this. So for that reason, I'm going to keep investigating this in the future and trying to expose this issue, as this truly has no place on the platform.
It seriously don't, Bean Team. He ain't got no freaking place at all on freaking YouTube, man. It just don't. It don't got no place on earth. You know what I'm saying? People doing this ish, but you always gonna have evil people in the world. But at least get them off YouTube. And like I said, it's so crazy that a lot of their viewers know that the ish is fake, but they still watching it, man. If I'll never watch one of those videos, at least from those channels that I know is fake. Like I said too, I know there are channels out there that are real, so it's hard, man. It's a freaking slippery slope. Alexa said, my heart. Yeah, man. And one thing I will say is I don't think that would be allowed to be happening in the United States. Like if you pay attention to those channels, they look like they was from Asia or somewhere like that. So, you know, they got different laws and different ways that they handle things. But I don't think anybody in the United States will get away with freaking putting up freaking fake animal rescues. And with these fake animal rescue videos, you actually harming the animals. Like, nah, I don't think that'll fly over here. At least I hope it wouldn't. You never freaking know, y'all. You never freaking know. Lavi said, last comment for now, but I agree. I wish we could make them go to jail for what they do to these poor animals. Yeah, man, Lavi, I feel like those people should be going to jail for that ish. Seriously. But I digress, being team, man. We at an hour and 30 minutes now, man. I appreciate all y'all being here. Hey, we had a steady stream today, y'all, of at least like 15 to 20 people for the most part, man. So appreciate that. We got Stephanie coming in. That was a rough one, but thankfully most of these channels, especially the ones in this video, are gone off YouTube today. Yeah, and I hope that we just continue to, or YouTube continue to keep their eye on that and get rid of those channels freaking as they come in. I hope they get rid of them. But I'm gonna go and let y'all go, Bean Team. All these was crazy, man. The one that was disappointing was the freaking Seattle zombie lady. That was like, really, lady? I'm thinking you crazy. I'm thinking you on drugs and all this and all that. And come to find out, it was all a freaking act, a freaking publicity stunt. And Mr. Swirl, oh my God, Mr. Swirl, that dude was freaking crazy, y'all. Like, I'm happy he got caught, but he got caught for freaking nothing. Because at the end of the day, he walking among us right now and probably still doing that same ish. All the police did is just give him a couple of slaps on the damn wrist when he was getting caught. And he out here essaying little children and ish. Plenty of children at that. Freaking sad, y'all. That was sad. I even just thought about that one again. You know what I'm saying, man? That's just how freaking sad that was. But I digress again, BT. Like I said, I'm going to go and let y'all go. I appreciate y'all coming on back as always. And before you leave, as always, just please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that. And come on back tomorrow for another Mr. Ball and Sunday. And also, remember this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.